What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Master Duel Dragonmaid deck profile. So I'm really excited to do some for you guys because we just got some amazing support for this deck in Master Duel, taking this deck to a whole new level. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's go and get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of Chamber Dragonmaid. This card is an amazing 3-of in the build because if it's normal or special summon, you can actually add a Dragonmaid spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is an extremely powerful ability to help us search out the exact cards that we need. We then play 3 copies of Kitchen Dragonmaid. This card is definitely a 3-of as well, because if this card is normal or special summon, you can add a Dragonmaid monster from your deck to your hand, except a copy of Kitchen, then send a Dragonmaid monster from your hand to the graveyard. We then play 3 copies of Parlor. Parlor is crazy powerful in the build, and all 3 of these monsters are actually 1-card combos in the deck to help you summon out your copy of Lady's Dragonmaid. And this card has the ability, if it's normal or special summon, you can actually send a Dragonmaid card from your deck to the graveyard, except a copy of Parlor, basically being a walking Foolish Burial. We then play a single copy of Chambers Dragonform. This card is great as a 1-of in the build, as this card is a really cool ability. You can actually discard this card to special summon a Dragonmaid monster from your graveyard or your banishment, except another copy of this card, which is a really powerful effect to help you use this card basically as a monster reborn. We then play a single copy of Tenarch. Tenarch is really good as a 1-of as well, because this card gives our monsters a little bit of a boost, because quick effect, you can discard this card and then target a Dragonmaid monster that you control, and it actually gains 2,000 attack until the end of the turn, which is a pretty cool effect. We then play a single copy of Lopar. This card is really cool as a 1-of in the build as well, just to basically turn our copy of Parlor into this card, and it's a great 1-of in the build. We then play 3 copies of Dark End Evaporation Dragon. Dark End is an amazing 3-of in the build that helps us fusion summon, which is so cool, and this card is so easy to summon to our side of the field, letting us actually banish a level 8 dragon monster from our X deck to special summon this card from our hand. Also, you can use this card, one of this card's 2 awesome effects, to either fusion summon a fusion monster from your X deck using monster in your hand or field, basically having this card as a walking polymerization, or it helps you pop a monster on the field with the ability to target one other texture monster on the field, make this card lose exactly 500 attack in events, and if you do, destroy that card. This card helps out so much in the build to help us go in for some really cool fusion plays, and it's definitely a 3-of in the deck. We then play a single copy of Magnamut. Magnamut is really good as a 1-of in the build to help us search out our dragons during the end phase, which is really cool. We make a single copy of Druid's Worm. Druid's Worm is really good as a 1-of as well to help us basically just spot remove cards off the field. And Druid's Worm Magnamut help you control the graveyard as well, letting you target a light or dark monster in either player's graveyard and banish it. If you do, special summon this card in your hand, and it's a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is an amazing 3-of in the build to basically just stop the opponent from touching the deck. We then play 3 copies of Fluros. Fluros is really good as a 3-of as well to help us dig into the deck for the exact cards that we need. Since it is a Master Duel deck profile, we are playing 2 copies of Maxi. Maxi is great to help us dig into the deck for the exact cards we need, and this card is absolutely broken in Master Duel. We then play 2 copies of Nibiru. Nibiru is so easy to out and definitely a 2-of in the build to help you break your opponent's board, but it's so easy to out the Nibiru card that you're basically going to hand your opponent with cards like Dark End Evaporation, which is so cool to be able to do, and it's just very easy to be able to deal with in this deck, and it's such a good card to break your opponent's board. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial is great as a 1-of in the build to help us get the exact monster we need into the graveyard. And then a single copy of Dragonmaid Changeover. Changeover is great as a fusion spell to help us basically fusion summon into the exact Dragonmaid card that we need. It's just a really good one-of in the deck that can actually recover itself from the graveyard. With the ability, while this card's in the graveyard, you can target a Dragonmaid monster you control and add this card back to your hand, and you return that monster back to your hand, which is a pretty cool effect. Then we have a single copy of Called by the Grave. Call the Grave is great in the deck to basically just stop your opponent's hand traps while you're going in for all of your plays. We have a single copy of Crossout Designator. Crossout Designator is great to again just stop your opponent's hand traps. We have a single copy of Sangan Kaiman. Sangan Kaiman is great as a one-of in the build because this card searches out our copy of Kitchen Dragonmaid and I guess add a level 4 or lower Fire Dragon monster from our deck to our hand, which is basically just Rhoda for our copy of Kitchen Dragonmaid. We then play 3 copies of Dragonmaid Hospitality. Hospitality is such a powerful 3-of in the deck because this card lets us special summon a Dragonmaid monster from our hand or the graveyard in defense position, then send a Dragonmaid with the same attribute but different level from your deck to the graveyard, letting you summon out a Dragonmaid monster side of the field, and then send either the maid form or the dragon form, depending on what you summon, from your deck to the graveyard, so you can basically summon out your copy of Lady Dragonmaid, which is so cool to be able to do. This card is extremely powerful as a 3-of in the deck, and such a good card to be able to use in this build. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with 3 copies of Tidying. Tidying is really good as a 3-of in the build, and this card is a really cool effect that you can actually target a dragon monster you control and a card that your opponent controls or in their graveyard and return them back to the hand. And also banish this card in the graveyard to special summon a Dragonmaid monster from your hand or the graveyard in defense position, but return it back to the hand during the end phase, which is a great effect to help you bring out your Dragonmaid to your side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is definitely a 3-of build to basically just stop your opponent's monster effects and also lock down entire columns of spells and traps. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with 2 copies of Lady's Dragonmaid. This card is an amazing 2-of in the build that we just got in Master Duel, and this card must first be special summoned from your X deck by banishing the above monsters, 1 each from the field and the graveyard to special summon this card, which is 2 Dragonmaid monsters with different levels but the same type, which is so easy to be able to do to basically just banish Kitchen and Tenarch, which will be able to summon this card out to your side of the field and basically banish the maid form from the field and banish the dragon form from the graveyard to summon this card out to your side of the field, which is so easy to do. Also, if this card is special summoned, you can actually special summon a level 4 Dragonmaid monster from the deck to your side of the field. And also during the standby phase, this card lets you fusion summon a Dragon Fusion monster from your X deck by actually shuffling the cards from the field or the banishment into the deck, helping you recover the materials that you actually use to make this card, which is so cool. This card is definitely a 2 on the build and exactly what the deck needed. We then play 2 copies of Yugioh. This card is really cool as a 2-of because this card is actually a walking negate. With the ability during each standby phase, you can actually special summon a level 9 or lower dragon monster that's a Dragonmaid monster from the hand or the graveyard. And also, while your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can actually negate the activation if you destroy that card. Also, after that, return this card back to the extra deck if you special summon out a House Dragonmaid from the extra deck. We then play 2 copies of House Dragonmaid. House Dragonmaid is really good as a 2-of in the build to basically just use this card to pop cards on the field, and it's just an amazing 2-of in the deck. As once returned during the standby phase, you can actually target one of their Dragonmaid monsters you control and special summon a Dragonmaid monster from the hand or the graveyard in defense position who's 1 level higher or 1 level lower than it. And also when another face-up dragon monster you control is returned back to the hand, you can actually target a monster your opponent controls and destroy it. We play a single copy of Philia. Philia is great in this deck and such a powerful card to be able to make, as this card has the ability that during the main phase, quick effect, you can actually target one card that your opponent controls or in their graveyard and banish it. If you banish a card from the field, you actually return a dragon monster that you control back to the hand. And at the start of your opponent's battle phase, if this card's in the graveyard, you can turn a dragon monster you control back to the hand or the extra if you do special summon this card. We play a single copy of Borreload Furious Dragon. Furious Dragon is just a really good option in the deck, because we are playing a bunch of different ways to be able to fusion summon, and this card just helps us pop cards on the field. We play a single copy of Star Source Dragon. This card is again just a really good option to be able to make, and just super easy to summon out to the field, and just a really cool card overall. We play a single copy of Light and Darkness Dragon Lord. This card is actually why I play Dark and Evaporation Dragon, because it's so easy to make this card as a triple negate. And this card is actually mandatory to actually activate, just like the original Light and Darkness Dragon. When this card is ability once per chain, if a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated, quick effect, this card loses exactly 1,000 attack and defense, and if it does, negate the activation. And if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can target a dragon monster in the graveyard and special summon it, which is great to help you bring a monster back to your side of the field, but this card is definitely a one of in the build. Then we have a single copy of Typhon. Typhon is amazing in the deck. Basically just use this card as a skill drain for 3,000 attack with monsters and a bounce. Then we have a single copy of SP. SP is just a really good option to use this card as a double interruption, and just an awesome card overall. We made 2 copies of Hieratic Seal. Hieratic Seal is great to help you spin cards off the field, and also easily summon out to your side of the field in this build to help you just basically get another dragon on the field. And then finally play a single copy of Striker Dragon. Striker Dragon is great to help us link a monster away, and then use our copy of Hospitality to bring it back to our side of the field, also being able to dump the dragon form into the graveyard, so we can actually summon out Lady Dragonmaid, which is absolutely insane. And it's so cool that Parlor, Chamber, and Kitchen are all full combo for this deck to help you summon out your copy of Lady's Dragonmaid. So, that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played this deck in Master Duel, you should definitely give this deck a try, especially since we just got Lady's Dragonmaid, which is such a cool card, and I absolutely love it for this deck. It's such a fun deck to be able to play, and you can actually pick up these structured decks and be able to make this deck extremely easily, because there's actually a Dragonmaid structure deck in Master Duel. Then all you have to do is basically generate Lady's Dragonmaid and the other staples that you need, which is really easy to do. So that's it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell there so you can get notifications. And we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.